I gotta make it or make it, man. These are the options. These are the options. I gotta make it or
And
make it. I
welcome
gotta
to
make
this
it or make
short little
it. Yeah.
tutorial video on how to set up all the neat little settings that Zoom has for you when you want to have a meeting. So once again, I'm going to sign in, and here I am. This is the profile page. It doesn't look that interesting, but it's okay. Over here on the left hand side, you'll see settings. I want to click on settings. Now, once again, if you look around the screen under settings, you have meeting. Well, these in meeting, email, well, that's if you just keep scrolling down, you'll get to all of it, okay? Holy cow, that's a lot of different options. Well, let's walk through it. Host a video. Do you want to start the meetings with the host video on? Well, yeah, your kids want to see you, right? Participants videos. Do you want to start with their videos on? Well, yeah, the teacher wants to see their kids, right? Audio type. You can have both telephone and computer audio. Of course, you can change that. I would just leave it at this, just in case you have a student who's away from a computer. And this also ties into some equity, because if a student doesn't have internet at home, well, they can call in. Okay, that's pretty huge. Keep that in mind. Join before the host. I don't like this one. Okay, so it says allow participants to join the meeting before the host arrives. I would say no. When they join, the timer basically starts running. Okay, so don't do that. Use personal meeting ID when scheduling a meeting. I put no. Use it when starting an instant meeting. No. Only authenticated users. No. I choose no on this one because, see, if you read it, it says host can choose one of the authentication methods when scheduling. I'm not a big fan of that one because you're sending out a link, so there's no need for that, okay? And we'll get down to it a little bit later, but if you have a waiting room, it kind of makes sure that you don't have any problems later on. Require password when scheduling new meetings. I like that, okay? Basically, when they click the link, they don't have to type in the password, okay? Because the password is embedded in the link. The only time they'll need the password is if they go to the app on their phone. It will say type in the meeting and then type in the password, okay? But that will be in the email sent out, so that's all right. Require password for instant meetings. Why not? Okay. Um, and of course, you can send that password both ways in those emails. Require password for a personal meeting. No. Embed password in meeting link. See, that's what I was talking about. I put yes. Okay. I like it because all they had to do is copy, paste that link. Boom, they're in. Makes it super easy for your kids or your parents or whoever's coming to your meeting. Um, if they're making a phone call, I don't require a password. You can always mute them. If for some reason you get somebody random in there, you can mute the person. Um, Mute them upon entry. I don't do that because, they might not know that they're muted and they'll be talking and then you'll lose whatever they have to say. All right. Upcoming meeting reminder. Receive desktop notification for upcoming meetings. If you have a recurring meeting, you might want to pop this one open. That way it'll send notifications for you, okay? And for people attending. Encryption, I don't do that. If I lived in a communist country, maybe. Chat. Now, this is important. If you watch the previous video, this is what we were talking about. Allow meeting participants to send a message. I put yes because sometimes somebody might want to type something in. Prevent participants from saving chat. I don't care about that. Private chat. Allow meeting participants to send a private one-to-one message to another participant. I put no, okay? Because especially if you're teaching older kids, you don't know what they're telling each other, so don't do that because that would be distracting from your overall goal, which is to get kids on board. Auto save chats. I don't do that But if you find that you're using chats a lot and there's some good information, you might want to start saving it. Play sound when participants join or leave. I want everybody to hear it, mainly because when I did my initial video, I actually didn't hear it. And maybe if someone else was in there, they could have heard it and said, "Hey, who joined?" Okay. Plus, when they leave, it makes a noise. So, there you go. File transfer. Host participants can send files through the in-meeting chat. Once again, if you think that's important, go for it. If not, check it off. Feedback to Zoom. This is nice. It's one of those things where at the end of the meeting, people can give feedback to say, "Hey, how was it?" Zoom's doing a great job trying to get all these schools up and running, so I say, yeah, more power to them. Display end of meeting experience feedback. You can do that, a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Allow host to put an attendee on hold. So you can kick people out. Like if you have somebody who's unruly, well, you can mute them even if they're in the meeting. Always show meeting control toolbar. On mine, I had to scroll to the bottom. I actually like that idea because I like to be able to see all the buttons. Show Zoom windows during screen share. Okay, I like this one too. Marnie and I were talking about it. She was able to hit screen share, but then she couldn't see everybody. And so if we hit that on, we like that. Basically, this means when you share your screen with your students, you no longer see who's in the meeting on your screen. So we like that one. We'll keep that one. And look at this. Who can share? I put all participants. Once again, know your students, okay? If a student shares their screen and it's something that you don't want up there, you can always click on that student and mute their video, kick them out, do whatever. Who can start sharing when someone else is sharing? Well, just the host only, because you don't want everybody sharing all at once. This can disable a screen share. Annotations, whiteboards, remote control. The person who is sharing can allow others to control the shared content. That's pretty cool. So if somebody's showing off something or wants the teacher to look at it, if this is activated on their control, the teacher can then click on it. I didn't do nonverbal feedback, but if you have students who want to use this, that might be something worthy into looking into. Allow removed participants to rejoin. So if you kick somebody out, but you want to allow them to come back in, well, then there you go. Breakout room. You can split people into smaller rooms. I don't think this is pretty cool, but I don't really think this will be advantageous for us as teachers for our students. Later on, y'all might want to experiment with it. Remote support, closed captioning. Save captions. That ties in these guys. Far end camera control. Allow another user to take control of your camera. Well, that's kind of weird. I don't know why you would do that, but that's interesting. Virtual background. You can replace their background with any selected image. In the meeting, in the video we created for you, the one previous to this, you notice towards the end of the video, Chastity, her image changed. Well, that's probably what this was. Auto answer group and chat, no. And you can have a guest. We don't want guests in your school classes. If they do, well, you can just send them the invite via email and then they can join. So these are all very detailed things. I don't really think you're going to need to do pretty much any of these. Attention tracking. Basically, this is kind of funny. If you see it, it says host sees an indicator in the participant manual. So basically, if the person has Zoom up, but then they flip over to like look at Facebook and stuff, it will actually tell you that they don't have Zoom in focus. if you think that might be a problem, you might want to click on that one. I did do this one. This is my favorite one. Attendees cannot join a meeting until a host admits them individually from the waiting room. So when they join, it pops up. That's what I had on my meeting on the previous video. I'm a big fan of this, so you can see people as they come in, okay? Show a join from your browser link. Since I emailed the invitation out, I didn't send that out, okay? Email notification. If somebody joins before you, you get an email. When the meeting's canceled, you get an email. That's pretty nice. And anything else? I got your language to edit, schedule privilege. You can actually add a person who works with you, maybe your co-teacher or another teacher, and you can actually work with that. Okay, so holy cow, that's a lot of options. That's just under settings, under meeting. Let's go to recording. And this won't take as long because, well, it's not as long. Local recording, yes. Automatic recording, yes. Because you want to save these videos and upload them for your students to see. Recording consent, you can actually say, hey, we're going to record, do you give consent? I wouldn't do that, just because, once again, you're not posting these videos on Facebook, okay? So it's not like you're getting in trouble with FERPA or anything crazy like that. This is just for your class, so it's just like as if they were coming to your classroom and everybody in there is going to see them. So I think you're cool. Multiple audio notifications of recorded meeting. Basically, this will play notification messages each time a recording starts or doesn't start. I didn't do that. That just sounds like more noise to me. So that's where we're at. And if you notice, every time I change one of these settings at the very top of the screen, never mind. Not that one. There we go. See, your settings have been updated. So that's nice. It automatically saves. So that's all the options that you really just need to worry about. Most of them I wouldn't worry about, but some of them I think are valuable. And of course, for you as the teacher, you'll be able to find which ones you like, which ones you don't. And it might be different, but from you to another coworker. So it's going to depend on what you want out of your class, who your students are, things like that. Of course, if you have questions, hit me up in an email. I will be glad to help you with these different options or whatnot. Hope this was helpful.